What up, you guys? It's Storm3 from Storm3 Productions, and in today's video, I'm very excited to show you guys this new Mega Knight deck. What? A Mega Knight deck? Yeah, because I got the Mega Knight. Let's go, you guys. You guys don't understand. I got... man, I forgot how I got him, actually. Oh, yeah, he was in the shop. Mega Knight was in the shop, and I had 40,000 saved up because as I was always telling myself, I was like, save 40,000 just in case for any legendary that came in the shop. So these are basically the legendaries I've been waiting for to try to get. Log, Ice Wiz, the Bandit, and the Royal Ghost. And when I was in the shop one day, the Mega Knight came in. I got him. Boom. I put him in the deck, and I was ready for action. Literally, this deck I'm showing you guys is so 3-crown approved. Like, literally, it's so good. It's so advantageous. It's really, really good. It's really tactical. You know what you're doing. And it's such an easy deck to understand. I'm really telling you because I stink. Come on. Okay, so basically, I'm going to show you guys some replays of how I use the deck, why I used it like this, and why I made certain plays. Let's get into it. Alright, so this was against a guy who's using Mega Knight himself with the Ice Wiz, the Night Witch, the Elite Barbs, Goblin Barrel, Goblin Gang. So it was a lot of mix of power, especially there because obviously the Ice Wiz can slow down troops. So my first idea was just try to rush him to see what he would play. So he zaps my Goblin Gang, Miner are doing a lot of chip damage. He puts a Night Witch on the right side. I was just trying to see if I can bait out his Mega Knight because I didn't really know at first because I was playing a lot of battles beforehand and a lot of them were just with Mega Knight. So I just wanted to bait it out. So I put down the Inferno Dragon to deal with the Ice Wiz because obviously the Ice Wiz can slow it down, but I don't want to put out my Night Witch, my Mega Knight out so that he knows what my hand is. So I put a Goblin Hut down so I could do some trickle damage. I noticed that he had his Minion Horde. My goal was try to like kite them with the Goblin Hunt and also with the Goblin Gang so they would do as less damage as possible. The Goblin Gang did a very well job. Then it came to a point he played his Mega Knight. So at this point I thought two things could happen. I could play my Inferno Dragon just so that I could get rid of him, or I play my own Mega Knight try to counter his. But this is what happened. He missed his zap, which was probably the luckiest play I had because he messed up his zap and it let my Inferno Dragon get all the damage it needed to get rid of that Mega Knight. I was so happy. Throws an Ice Wiz, Inferno Dragon destroyed it. 2 kills in 1 life, that's how it goes. So basically now I'm waiting right now, I'm trying to see what should I do. I play a double, I go Miner with the bats and the Skeleton Barrel, going crazy. He throws his Goblin Gang, I immediately had my zap ready, poof, popped it, we got the tower. Skeleton Barrel is not popped, Miner's still alive, he plays his Minion Horde. So at this point I'm thinking I should probably play my Goblin Horde, try to get some more trickle damage, and at least try to help get rid of the Minion Horde, and try to keep myself tactic. So he plays his Goblin Barrel to do some damage to my Goblin Hut. That didn't do as much because I zapped it. Fortunately for the zap, I couldn't use it because obviously now he's going to play his Goblin Gang. So I'm waiting. He plays his Ice Wiz in the back, I believe. Or no, I think he gave up at this point. So, no, he puts his Mega Knight. So I put... And, oh yeah, he went with an aggressive Mega Knight Night Witch. So my idea was to kite him with the Goblin Hut, just so that I could get his attention and get the bats to go in with the Night Witch. And at this point, he really just gave up. He zapped my king. He put a Goblin Barrel, and it's pretty much set. Through Miner, through Inferno, through my Goblin Gang, through the Skeleton Barrel. Everything was pretty much set and golden. You know what I mean? The one thing with this deck you really gotta understand is that you really want to bait out your opponent, especially with your zap, your spells or anything, because this is what can really set you in a really positive win, you know? Let's get into the second 3-crown with this deck. Alright guys, so this deck was before, it's the same deck, but it was a little bit before when I was pushing up, so I was in the Legendary Arena. This guy was using this crazy spammy deck with Goblin Gang, Guard, Zappies, Clone, and everything. So what I was saying before was you gotta make sure about your opponent's spells because obviously the Zap resets the Inferno. Zap can kill your Goblin Gang, your bats. Any crucial card is really your key. Right here, he went for the guards, Zappies, archers, Goblin Gang mix, and he made a clone out of them. I threw my Mega Knight because the Mega Knight can destroy them all, and I had to deal with anything. Threw my my Skeleton Barrel just for any extra damage because I wanted to avoid any damage to the Goblin Hut so I can get more goblins going down, so I had more room to work with, especially because the goblins do a lot of chip damage, so chip damage is really important to this deck as well, because obviously if you can't get your Mega Knight down, your Mega Knight cannot can't be the only one you're relying on, or it cannot be your only win condition. Your Miner can also be the win condition with just zapping it, or Inferno Dragon do some chip damage with a Goblin Gang, or anything small chip damage is really important because if you can't get the Mega Knight, you know what I mean? Most important is always keep your HUDs going. It doesn't matter, because if you keep your HUDs going, your opponent is going to have to force to play something, and that will help you get an advantage. Because if you keep forcing a spell out of your opponent, like Poison, Rocket, Fireball, anything, it leaves you room to use any of the other cards like Inferno, Goblin Gang, Miner, anything. So it's like you have more awareness of what to play and how to play it, and more effectively. See, this is what he went for again. I played my Mega Knight, and it destroyed everything. Destroyed everything, the Zappies and everything. He, I believe, mirrored the Zappies, and boom, my Mega Knight went straight to the tower and destroyed it. He legit just took it out, I think. No, I don't think he took it out. No, he took it out. I hadn't watched the replays. I was just going as I go. So at this point, I was going really aggressive through the Miner, Goblin Gang, Inferno Dragon, everything, and boom, we got another 3 crown up in here, bro. That's how Mega Knight rolls, son. All right, now we're going to go for the third 3 crown victory with this deck. All right, guys, so now this one was with the Prince, Goblin Hut, Royal Ghost, Inferno Dragon deck. This one was what I was saying before about how you bait out your opponent's spells, and this is what makes a big deal. This one I'm really going to be more tactical and explain more why I did everything. So as you see, the opponent plays the Skeleton Barrel all the way in the back, and I waited to play my bats because I don't want the bats to die into the poison. So I was waiting, I was letting it wait to build up some elixir. Once the poison went away, I put my bats in the bag, tried to see if I was going to be able to bait out his poison or his attempt to poison. He plays a bats and Inferno Dragon on the other side. So my idea was to play the Skeleton Barrel to keep the Inferno distracted for a little bit and just to see if I could cycle some cards, you know what I mean? My Goblin Hut dies, but still on the other side we got a lot of trickle damage. So my first idea with the Prince is you always want to use your Mega Knight, because you can't have your Goblin Gang always be reliant on that, because if your opponent has a stronger zap and can kill your Goblin Gang, pretty much your tower is going to go down. So I always try to rely on the Mega Knight to stop the Prince rather than the Goblin Gang. So at this point I zapped the tower just so that I could reset the tower to look at the Miner. The Inferno Dragon got rid of the Royal Ghost, and he missed a zap too, so his zap led on for me to get more tower damage to 961 and 1826. See, my opponent only did the most damage on the left side just because of that poison. That poison left me a lot of room, because you've seen in his hand, he only has Skeleton Barrel, Bats, Inferno Dragon, and his Prince. It leaves me a lot of room to play any of my 3 cards, the Bats, the Goblin Gang, and the Skeleton Barrel, because these are Storm Troops, and he doesn't have his Zap or his Poison in rotation, so it leaves me a lot of room to do with whatever I want. So I played, again, a double. I did the, no, wait a minute. Did I play this over? Stop. Before you guys continue the video, I'm going to give you guys a little bit briefing of what happens next, because literally later on in the video, I didn't realize that I actually was playing the third video, or the third replay correctly, and I didn't realize that until I was actually recording it. So just keep a little heads up that I was right. It was the third replay. I for some reason thought I was playing the same replay over, and I thought I was going to mess up the whole entire video, but I didn't. I played the third replay as I did, and just watch my reaction. It's pretty funny. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Oh no! Ah! Wait, hold on. What did I play? Oh, I was right! Okay, keep going. Just keep going with it. Alright guys, so this is the third 3 crown I got with this deck. So basically he was using a Goblin Hut, Inferno Dragon, Royal Ghost, Prince deck. This is something I'm going to be more specific when I explain to you guys how to use this deck correctly. So what I was saying before about baiting his spells and everything, just watch carefully. Because my opponent used his poison to do some trickle damage on the tower and to the Goblin Hut, but he didn't realize that I had my bats in hand, so I let my bats go onto the left side so they can deal with the Skeleton Barrel so I can avoid any damage. He tends to go on the right side with the bats and the Inferno Dragon and try to do some damage. But I use the Skeleton Barrel to counter that, so I keep the Inferno Dragon distracted and keep any tower damage away from possible. I put the Inferno on the left side thinking that he was probably going to play a tank, because that's where he had the most trickle damage. and then he tried to go with an aggressive Prince. My key idea is always go defensive with the Prince, with the Mega Knight. You cannot defend Prince with Goblin Gang or anything defensive like with any Bats, Inferno, or Goblin Hunt, because those are your crucial cards. Especially because if your opponent has a higher level zap, he can literally just zap out your spell, like your Goblin Gang, your Bats, and everything, and it basically will go down to waste. My Inferno Dragon was doing a really good job. It was able to take out the Royal Ghost, and then it targeted the tower, and he missed his zap, so therefore I was able to do more trickle damage. Literally going down the tower, literally at 9-11 with 18-26 on the right tower, 9-11 on the left tower. He did any damage to me, only on the left tower, 23-54, but only with his poison. One thing I'm going to really stress out with this deck is you always want to keep your Goblin Huts going, because without the Goblin Hut, it's not going to make your opponent force a play. So see, I played really aggressive. I went with the Miner, Goblin Gang, and the Skeleton Barrel, and it really got him the first crown for me, and I went to the left, and I went really aggressive. I think he just gave up, so I went full force. I put another Inferno Dragon, and literally it led me to another 3 crown because the Inferno Dragon burned right through it. So the main key to this deck, you guys, is always to know when to play a Mega Knight. Mega Knight is really important when you play, let's say, for example, any tank, swarm, or anything that can deal a lot of damage on the ground. You know what I mean? Because obviously, if you don't have your big tank, your troops are not going to survive, because obviously the Goblin Gang, the Bats, the Inferno Dragon do not have a lot of health. So that's what makes it really, really crucial for the Mega Knight to be alive and to use it really smart. I'm going to show you guys this other replay where the opponent also had a zap in hand, but he had a Furnace and Goblin Hut. So this was a lot more smart, like, well, not smart, it was a more tactical approach that I came about this. So obviously in my first hand, Goblin Hut, always. Do not think about the Goblin Hut, just put it down. It's your best defense against a Hog, against a Giant, against anything. It's always good just to put them down. 3 tiles above, to the left, to the right, doesn't matter, it's your preference. 3 tiles above, and you are set. It will drag anything, you know? So I went with a Miner just so I could do some damage to that Furnace. Unfortunately, he got it with the Ice Spirit and the Goblin Gang. I wanted to just slow roll it, so I threw my Skeleton Barrel. I thought that by the time I threw that Skeleton Barrel, the Furnace would have, those Furnace Fire Spirits would have gotten less damage, but it did some damage. So I threw my, I put my Mega Knight down so I get some aggression going, because obviously he uses a lot of Elixir, and I was actually in a big advantage. He plays a Musketeer because he was waiting for any Elixir he could to try to stop my Mega Knight, so he couldn't play his Prince. I threw my Inferno, Bats, and Goblin Gang to get rid of the Baby Dragon and the Musketeer, because I wanted to make sure I had like a good counter push going, especially because that Furnace is level 8 and is really annoying. So the Miner was able to take it out. The Inferno Dragon was able to do a lot of damage to the Goblin Gang. So the only thing we're left with is the Baby Dragon coming down our lane. Don't be afraid with any spell troop to let the hit the Goblin Hut, because the Goblin Hut is your second building of defense, and it will kind of like negate any damage that's coming towards you, you know, for your Hogs or for any spells, because that baits them out, and that's better to have spell damage than actual troop damage. Obviously, you don't want to have a Giant on your tower. You'd rather have a Fireball damage, you know what I mean? So the opponent tends to do my play. He keeps playing it right in the front, really aggressive. At that point, I try to use the Bats to go straight in, just so that they can do some trickle damage to get rid of it. So I throw my Inferno, he plays his Furnace. I put my Mega Knight down, boom, just to stop that Knight, the Prince. And then the Skeleton Barrel explodes, helps stop with the Furnace and the Goblin Hut a little bit. I throw my Miner just so I can kite some of the Goblin Gang, zap them, and my zap was literally high level, so I was able to eliminate them. The Mega Knight was able to jump, get rid of the Musketeer, and was able to do a lot of damage on that tower. So literally, this deck can really work a lot for you. See, even with the poison, he baited it out. I was able to play another Goblin Hut and my Goblin Gang, so it was actually more beneficial for me, and it was able for me to keep playing my swarmy units without even having a single worry. See, we got the tower down at 397. He's having double spawners. He has his Prince and his Goblin coming in. I literally went with the Mega Knight, stopped everything right there in its tracks, and all we had to do was just keep pushing, keep pushing. You always want to keep your opponent on your toes, especially with this deck. You know, put the Goblin Huts as much as you can, put the Goblin Gang as much as you can, I went with the minor poison at this point. I tried to do any trickle damage. I zapped it. Unfortunately, the ice spear did not die, so it went down to 123. Excuse me. Placed another furnace in the middle instead, not in the back, because he wanted to do any more damage he could. Plays a musketeer. I have goblins coming in. I put the goblin king down, and at this point, anything could have won right there. The goblins, the jump from the Mega Knight, or anything. Literally, that's what got me the win, and it was freaking crazy, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys want to see more Mega Knight decks or anything of that nature. You guys want to see me do a live Mega Knight, challenge, like battle. You know what I mean? So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you guys do. And let me know again if you guys want to see any more Mega Knights. And comment down below if you guys want to see any other decks made. You know what I mean? Like, not just Mega Knight, but Inferno, Giant, Sparky, anything. Let me know in the comments. And it's been Swarm, guys. Later.